Hey, Elijah, was it disappointing for you to learn that there was not going to be an in-person combine? Was that something you looked forward to?
Yeah, most definitely. Something I wanted to do, but God makes changes, and I just had to adjust. And I'm just grateful that we got to do this, in front of the scouts. So, looking back, I know I'm gonna have to tell a different story. Saying I didn't get to go to the combine and do all that stuff, but it's still gonna be a great story, though.
Yeah. What did you think of your workouts today?
I did well. I wanted to do more on the bench. I wanted to shoot for 20. Thought I was gonna jump like a 38, but the 40 was around the area where I wanted, and the routes I felt like I was very efficient. So, I'm just thankful, man. I can't thank God enough.
Go to Tehran.
Yeah, Elijah, looking at your game, you do have an outstanding inside-outside game, but we see a lot of people put you in that slot role. What is it about you that makes you capable of playing both inside and outside?
I just feel like it's my mental. I love learning positions. I'm gonna learn to embrace whatever you guys get, put me. I'm very open. I love to be coached. I'm gonna work extremely hard. If I'm not good at it now, I'm gonna be great at it later. So I'm just gonna embrace wherever you guys put me. I'm gonna be in a position to where I want to be good at everything, not just one thing.
And what about your relationship with A.J. Brown? I know you guys are very close. How much would you look forward to being able to be in that same lineup with him once again?
Man, that'd be a blessing, man. We talk about it all the time. We just wherever we go, we just wanna dominate. I'm definitely about to link with him as soon as I go home. We all about to train and get right. I'm still learning, I'm still getting better, both of us. We're gonna feed off each other. But it'll definitely be a blessing.
And who is your agent?
Tory Dandy. CAA.
Thank you.
No problem.
Go ahead, Phil. Phil Corral, go ahead with your question.
Mute.
Hey, Elijah, this is Phil Corella with Overtime Fantasy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed.
All right, that's great, man. So, hey, just real quick, what has the process been like for you to get ready for today? And what would you say your biggest strength is as a wide receiver?
Probably just being anxious. I was very, very anxious. I'm cutting on the TV, cutting on social media, and seeing everybody do their thing, and it was definitely motivating. But I'm really a competitor. Last year watching some of the games, I had to cut the TV off because I couldn't watch it. But definitely being a competitor and just being anxious. But I'm just grateful I got to do it. I did out there. And what was the second question? I'm sorry.
What do you think your greatest strength is as a wide receiver?
Really just all around routes. I take pride in my routes. I take pride in just how I play. I'm a very hard worker. I feel like whatever team I get drafted to, I'm gonna be the hardest worker in the team right away. I'm still growing as a person, so I don't want to look at anybody else and be like them or something like that. I want to be my own player. I want to be myself and just stand out in that way. I'm extremely hard worker. Whatever team gets me is gonna get a dog.
All right, best of luck to you in your future. All right, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nick, go ahead.
Elijah, was it your choice to do the running back drills today, or did the teams ask you to do that?
It was the drills. It was definitely them. I knew I was gonna do some type of running back stuff. I didn't mind, but man, I feel like I just played a game.
Big picture, does it matter to you if you're a first-round pick? Is that something that you have as a goal there, or do you kind of just, whenever you get picked, you're picked?
Of course, I have dreams and aspirations to go first round, but of course, I want to go to the right position. I've been praying a lot to go to the right position, but even on top of that, I've been praying that whatever position I do fall into is the right position. I let God lead me, and you can't go wrong whenever you do that.
Thanks, Elijah.
Go to Alex.
Hey, Elijah, 2 questions. Do you have any contact with the Pittsburgh Steelers yet? And my second question is, I know you've done some return work as well. Aside from just speed and athleticism, what makes a good punt and kick returner?
Yeah, I did talk with the Steelers lately, and I just feel like being a good, decision maker back there. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know when to fair catch. You gotta know when to take it and take a chance. So just being a good decision maker and just being extremely smart.
Go to Nick Faribaugh.
Hey Elijah, you came in today, I think it was 5'9", 178. And, a lot of people will say the reason you can't play outside is because someone at that size would struggle against press coverage. Why? How do you kind of beat press coverage, and what's your strategy to overcome that?
Well, I don't really feel like my size has anything to do with being press coverage. You go in with a plan, and just having a plan for your plan. Whenever someone feels like they have, a plan for what you about to do, you come up with something else. So just always coming in with, more than one plan and just being a smart player. I feel like being a receiver, you kind of just work off what the DB gives you. I feel like that's an area where I'm not going to struggle, at all. Of course, people are going to say things now because they haven't seen it, but it's only going to come to the light later. So
Go to John Sokolov.
Hey, Elijah, so what do you kind of think, based on your performance today, kind of like, what did you show to set yourself apart and to kind of give other teams a new perspective that kind of wanted to see you in person?
just feel like I was very efficient. I take a lot of things serious, I just wanted to put on a show. A lot of people probably came in doubting if I was fast or, if my routes were going to be up to par. But I just feel like seeing it on social media and seeing it in person is two different things. I'm a very efficient person. I wanted to get things done, and I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I executed that. So.
And how many teams have like kind of reached out to you at this point, this preliminary process?
Pretty much all of them lately. At times it kind of does get overwhelming because all the calls and everything. But I'm just blessed to be in this position. People would die to go through what I'm going through. So this is great problems.
Go to
Thank you, man.
Mateus.
Elijah, Mateus from Time Out Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. We talk about like how many good receivers you have in this class, and it's hard to like trying to be in front of these guys. But you have a great 2020. Like we have more production with last game. You have 4 games with plus 200 yards. How do you think that the 2020 season helped you on this process when you have so many good guys at the position?
For one, I of course I pay attention to them, but I don't focus too much on what other people's doing. I just focus on my tasks and what's in front of me, and just also having my teammates, to work me, and having Lane Kiffin and Coach Levy and Coach Nix, just the whole staff here, just allow me to show me. Every year I feel like I show something different that I didn't have on my film, and it couldn't have been a better situation when having Kiffin, who allowed me to play multiple spots all around the field, and just to show that diversity in me, because wherever somebody puts me, I'm going to execute. So.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Go to Dan.
Hey, Elijah, Dan Wilkes, I'm from the Brawl Network. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
I love your attitude, love the swag. Congrats on the time today, 4.35. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Couple questions, kind of a two-part one. One, lots of wide receivers / offensive weapons in this year's draft. And you got Tony, you got Rondale Moore, Eskridge, a lot, including yourself. So the first part of the question is, how do you separate yourself from them in terms of either on or off the field? And then talk about your fit potentially with the Chargers. I covered them in LA. Have you talked to them yet?
No, I have not yet. I have a call with them next week, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just a hard worker. I feel like I don't know why I don't get picked first overall, because I'm going to work harder than anybody else. You can't tell me there's that much people better than me. I feel like I'm the best offensive player in the whole draft. And people have their doubts and they're gonna say things, but it's just all gonna come to the light. I'm a God-fearing man. I give everything to God, and I'm learning about myself, and I'm an extremely hard worker. And then you add that all in, I really can't lose. So that's pretty much what I can say.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Elijah, could you take me back and explain how Chad Kelly came into the mix here and working with him today?
Man, general. I would just say that. He's a big-time general. Loved working with him, man. I don't know how he's not out there ripping the league, man. First workout I came out here, man, he had like a little bad throw and did like 40 push-ups. I've never seen a quarterback do that. Just his mentality and how he runs the film room, man. Every day we watching film like we're at practice. He's going down details. He's going up there even showing me how to run my own route. Getting out at 3, getting out at 2. Going back at running back and even running through it. He's very hands-on and a very great person. My first time meeting him, it couldn't have gone any better. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm grateful that he was throwing to me.
And that goes, frankly, contrary to what maybe his reputation is. For someone who has not known him very long, I mean, Was it instant? And are you surprised that maybe he's not given that opportunity that you said you feel he deserves?
Definitely surprised, but I like to make judgments on my own. I don't go by what people say. People are gonna say things about you, about me that when you meet me, you might get something totally different. We're human. We all make mistakes. His past might not be all dandy and perfect, but he's definitely grown to be a better person too. So that's what I can say.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to Chris.
Elijah, what's the biggest thing you learned? What's the biggest thing you learned about your game this past year? One, and then two, with the new coaching staff, was there anything particular you picked up from them that had you have this monster career year this past year?
Just feel like I picked up a lot, man, but especially in specific, just the capacity to hold plays. Kiffin would allow me to learn one extra play, whether it was the running back, or he even allowed me to sit in meetings with other people, with my quarterback, with my running backs, with my tight ends, just to learn football as a whole. I definitely used the quarantine and just COVID in general as time to excel and learn football to where when I was in this position, I was knowing just as much as the scouts, or even just close to it, because the more you know, the faster you can play. And what was your second question? I apologize.
Just was there anything particular you learned with all new coaching staff this year? Was there something particular you picked up from them this past year?
Really, just with Kiffin, man, just learning football. He allowed me to actually see a defense now, and now, for example, when we're going to games and we play Bama and there are linebackers playing so close, why the run is working. Just the little small things where I wasn't seeing before. I actually understood the saying, see a little, see a lot, see nothing. So it definitely made sense.
Go to Tyler.
Can you hear me, Elijah?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about some of the strengths in your game, but what are some areas you can improve on, if any?
Really just all around. I'm trying to be, as soon as I get home, I'm going to work on that punt return. Just judging the ball, making decisions, kick return, and just cleaning up things. I'm not perfect. Just like anybody else, you do something and long enough, you become good at it. So I'm just working on everything that I think I'm bad at, to where I'm going to end up being a complete player. So just overall at everything.
Go to Zach.
Hey, Elijah, have you met with the Chicago Bears in the pre-draft process? And then my second question was, your skill set has been compared to players like Steve Smith and Antonio Brown. Who in today's NFL do you think you best compare to, if anyone?
I have not spoken with the Bears. I think I have them next week too. I have a couple calls, but I don't think I play like anybody. I'm being honest with you. I take a lot of stuff from a lot of different people. I don't even watch this football highlights, man. I like a lot of people's mentality just off the field, whether it's basketball, soccer. It's just so much things, but I think I'm one of one for real. I work hard, man. I take a lot of things from people and put it into my game. I know you guys hear that a lot, but looking at it, I don't think I play like anybody that has been in the league. So
We'll go to Akeem.
Elijah, how you doing? Elijah?
I'm blessed.
Akeem from Built in Buffalo. Just a quick question for you. You obviously had an amazing pro day, and I wanted to know what was your thought process coming into today when you woke up this morning. Did you feel you had anything to prove, or you felt pretty confident in what you displayed on film?
I was confident, but at the same time, very, very anxious. I went the whole week, watching things, and definitely was ready. But man, I'm just honest with you. I'm just glad it's over and I can pay attention focus on football now. So just really that, man. Clear space and clear mental. I thank God enough, man. I just left it up to God. There's nothing I can do. I put in the work. I've been grinding my whole life. So it was just nothing new. I just had to do it in front of everybody else.
Keenan, go ahead.
Hey, Elijah, how you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. Looking at your numbers today, they were outstanding. Were they in the wheelhouse of what you was pretty much expecting to do, or did you surpass your expectations?
It was definitely in the wheelhouse. I wanted to do more on bench. I wanted to get 20. You know, I was getting closer to 20 back at Exos, like 19, 20. I wanted to jump a little higher, but at the end of the day, I'm a baller, man. It's being real. When football lights come on, you know, when it's time to go, I'm going to be ready. So it's all going to come to the light.
All right, and also having Coach Kiffin there, having a coach that has NFL coaching experience, what's some of the best advice he's giving you thus far going into this process?
Just to work extremely hard. You know, like there's no keys to this. No, there's no right, you know, you got to stay in film this long, or you got to just go over day 1. No, you got to touch day 2. You got to touch day 3. So just being that type of player, you know, just falling in love with the process and knowing that, you know, football obstacles are going to come, you just, you know, and then you look back and always see how you overcome them, you know. So just being that type of player and, man, just hard work. You know, at the end of the day, that's really all it is. You either going to ball or you not.